coming towards the end of the year, I want to hear about everyone's like top 3 pickups.
It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy to think that we are almost at the end of the year. I don't know about you, but it really felt like this one blew past me, like before I even realized it was going on. And I have had some absolutely astonishingly good pickups this year. I don't know why. It's just been a wicked good year for like toy collecting for me in general. Not necessarily that these are all toys that came out this year, but like the fact that I got my hands on them this year is just 3 of them. I can only pick 3 of them. Okay, so I know my first. It has to be Castle Grayskull. I mean, Castle Grayskull from Constructs is just unbelievable. This thing is awesome. One of the coolest builds ever. It came with a wicked amount of characters. It's just absolutely phenomenal. The inside of it, I'm not going to show the whole thing off. I've already done videos on it and everything like that. But like, holy crap, if this wasn't one of the coolest building experiences that I've ever had, and putting it on my shelf, it's phenomenal. I cannot wait to get the Snake Mountain that goes with it, because this is easily one of the coolest things all year for me. Maybe you could say I'm cheating on this video a little bit by putting them both right next to each other, because Vicron kind of fits into this as well, but Red Sonja. This is something that I've wanted for as long as I can remember. No joke. I've been collecting Red Sonja comics since like Xena the Warrior Princess went off of television all those years ago. It was something that I shared with my stepmother, and me and her, we watched like every single episode. When it was done, I didn't know exactly, like I remember going to the comic shop and wondering what to do next. And I still kind of had a craving to see things that were like Xena the Warrior Princess, but I didn't necessarily know enough to kind of like know exactly what I was hunting for. And I stumbled upon a Red Sonja comic pretty much by accident. And to think that I never had a decent Red Sonja on the shelf ever, or one that even mattered for that matter. And then there she is, man. She came out and she is an absolute wonderful piece. One of the coolest figures on the shelf, and stands absolutely fantastic next to my Vicron, which is basically what if Conan the Barbarian was in He-Man anyway. And just that's easily one of the best pickups of the year for me right there. And at that point, things start to get a little difficult, because, man, those 2 items really stand out if I absolutely have to pick. But see, now I'm down to only being able to pick 1. You kind of cheated on this video too, if I'm being perfectly honest. You didn't do just like 3. You were like, oh, here's some honorable mentions so I can kind of cheat. But like, look, man, I don't know what it was about this year, but it was phenomenal, the amount of stuff that I picked up. I mean, we had some really, really cool stuff, and not just stuff that came out this year, but just the fact that I was able to get my hands on some really, really cool stuff. To pick just one more thing, a third thing that just finished out the year, I don't know, man. I don't know, because like, when I say there was some cool stuff, there was some cool stuff, man. Like, it was this year that I added Master Roshi to the shelf, that I added a Krillin to the shelf that I actually like from Dragon Stars, that I picked up my first one of these models and actually built it from Figurized Standard. It was this year that I completed the first run of these Street Fighter figures, which are unbelievably fantastic, by the way. It was this year that I finally got my Storm Shadow, which I've been looking for forever. It was finally this year that I finally got my Jungle. Hell yeah, this year. He's absolutely awesome. You can't get enough of him. I built her this year. This has been a tremendous year. Like, I can't sing his praises enough. Look at that. Look at that back there. That's Tyrus Flare. She came from this year. I got the Beast Man this year. Yes, I had him for a while, but I didn't open him until this year. So I'm counting it. Look at that Sorceress that I got this year, right next to one of the coolest figures released in Masterverse. I don't care. I'm telling you, Motherboard is so freaking awesome. You want Pokemon? Because damn, I got Pokemon this year too. Look at this. I got a Cubone, which is an absolute fantastic one this year that I added. I also added a Lapras right alongside it. My daughter found me the gold Charizard card, which I wasn't expecting. Literally in a friggin' 100 years. This year I added a new Spider-Gwen to the shelf, which I'm actually pretty proud of. I just picked up this year. I just got them today. I'm literally doing a video on them right now. I got 2 of the 97 X-Men right there, which is absolutely fantastic. I got Catwoman. I got the coolest Batman. I don't care. That's the best McFarlane Batman that they've done as far as I'm concerned. He's absolutely fantastic. Not to mention, coming over here, this is the same year that I got things like he-skeletor. This is exactly the year that I got like Fangor, Lady Slither. Like, oh my gosh. It just goes on and on and on. All the great stuff that we got this year. Just so much cool stuff that just got added and added and added and added and added. Not to mention simple things like this Goomba down here. And yes, I count that amongst one of the coolest things that I picked up because first off, I love Goombas, so just eat it. It was this year that I went to a convention. I finally found at an actual booth some freaking Frank Frazetta. Finally, you never find Frank Frazetta anywhere at these conventions anymore. It was this year that I set up the bookshelf and finally finished off my Ghostbusters. Everything that I want from Ghostbusters is right there. It's complete. That's all the movie Ghostbusters. That's all the cartoon Ghostbusters. That's the Ecto. That's the 2 most important ghosts. That's Freddy Krueger. Why not? He belongs on the Ghostbusters shelf. Oh my gosh, this year. Not to mention that it was this year that I got for the first time ever my first fully vintage He-Man figure. Fully vintage, like 100% old, almost a 100% perfect paint job. I mean, it's mind-blowing. I got a complete Teela. I mean, look at her. She's right there. And I'm not kidding when I tell you her paint job is fantastic. Like, I got lucky. This is like one of the best paint jobs I've seen on a classic figure literally ever. And I got her. And she came with everything, man. She had literally everything. She has her armor, she has her shield, she has her staff. She's in fantastic, perfect condition. She stands right next to my old style Obesichu. Just fantastic. We are nearing the end of the year. The end of the year. We're not even done. I didn't even mention the fact that I bought these crazy knockoff NECA Ninja Turtles that turned out to actually be pretty sweet. They'll be more than perfect placeholders for just unbelievable. The more I look at this year, the more I realize that it was fantastic. For what it was, for all the hardships we could talk about and all the troubles that we've had from one moment to the next. If you were a collector this year, especially in toys, and I realize there's been a lot of things about like pricing people out and the price of things going up and stuff getting a little crazy and things of that nature, and I can understand that. I can even relate to it, but let's be honest, guys. This year, if you were toy hunting and you found nothing, I don't even know how you accomplished that because there was greatness all around us this year. And next year promises to be just as awesome. And in all honesty, this year ain't even done yet. I promise that I'll have at least another 10 things that are awesome before I end the year. This year was good. It was good.